wanted to create a morning routine that worked for me. And in order for me to create a morning routine that worked for me, I had to know what those things should include. So if you are here and you want to create a morning routine that works for you, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Claudia. And on my channel, I talk about intentional living and doing things that you want to do on your terms and keeping your space decluttered so you keep a decluttered mind by taking small micro steps to get toward the things that you want to achieve. You know, it can seem a little bit overwhelming when you think about all the things you like to get done in the morning, and sometimes it doesn't seem like you just have enough hours in a day. But when I thought about creating a morning routine that worked for me, I really wanted to put everything in my morning that would set me up for success. So what I decided to do first was I wanted to be intentional about my morning. And when I say being intentional, I wanted to just do those things in my morning that made me feel like I was successful. The first thing I did was to write down exactly what I wanted my morning routine to look like. I needed to know those things that made me feel successful. I decided to write everything down so I would know what it means to be intentional about my morning. I wanted to plan my morning my way. If I'm not the type of person that wants to get up and just exercise and do all the things that just made me feel good in the gym, if that wasn't who I am, then I didn't want that in my morning. And if that's not who you are, then don't put it in your morning. You want to create a morning that is done your way. So I don't wake up with an alarm clock. I have learned that I just don't do well with that loud sound. I don't do well with the gradual music that eventually gets louder. That's not the way I wanted to wake up. I wanted to wake up naturally. So I want you to tell me, do you wake up with an alarm clock or not? Please leave me a comment below and let me know if you wake up with an alarm clock. I don't know. I just felt like an alarm clock was just not something that I've ever enjoyed. And I've tried a lot of different things. There are things out there that you can try that give you puzzles to solve when you first wake up in the morning. That's supposed to get your mind going. And I know that there are apps out there for that if you want to look into that. But for me, I just wanted to wake up when my body says, Claudia, it's time to wake up. So what I had to do was I had to learn what my natural circadian rhythm was. It is the natural internal process that regulates the sleep-wake cycle and repeats roughly every 24 hours. Your body naturally wakes up at a certain time every day. And if you were to test that out over a course of 24 hours, you would figure out that every 24 hours, I sleep 7.5 hours, and that's my natural rhythm. I know that at 7.5 hours, I feel well rested, I'm not tired, I'm not anxious. My body has decided that's enough sleep. And it took some time to figure out what that was, but it really makes me feel a lot better so that when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. The only way to really learn what that rhythm is to go to bed a lot earlier than what you normally do and then just sleep till you wake up. You might want to try it on a Friday night and then sleep till you wake up on Saturday morning. Do the same thing on Saturday night. And then come Sunday night, when you wake up Monday morning, you should have a general idea how many hours your body needs to sleep. Try that. Learn your circadian rhythm and see what that is for you. The next thing I do is when I do wake up using this type of alarm or this type of system, I don't have to worry about hitting the snooze button, because when I was waking up with an alarm clock, the snooze button was my best friend. I'm not going to lie. So here's the thing about hitting the snooze button. I was watching Thomas Frank's video, and he mentioned that his friend Evan Carmichael said, never hit the snooze button. If you hit the snooze button in the morning, you are accepting that the first thing you do in the morning is fail. Boom. That was so eye-opening to me, because that's how it feels. It's like, If you hit snooze, you have already told yourself you are not going to make that goal. The first thing you do in the morning is fail. You're not succeeding. You don't want to wake up that way. You want to start your day off with a successful act. In order for me to have the morning that's great or possible for myself, I like to make sure I plan the night before. Planning the night before tells me what I'm supposed to do when I wake up in the morning. For those of you that know me, you know I love digital, and I do. That has the bulk of everything, or the more in-depth details of what I'm supposed to do. But the general overview of what I'm supposed to be doing is written on a planner, and then I transfer that on my today's achievement list, which I post on my refrigerator, and I also post in my office. When I was creating my routine, I made sure that I included at least 1 to 2 things in it that I could do and get used to doing so that it would become a habit to me. Initially, that was reading consistently and journaling consistently. And when I say consistently, that doesn't have to necessarily mean every day, but it means at least 3 to 5 times a week. Just doing that just makes me feel successful. It makes me feel like I'm on track for my day, because both of those 2 things are positive. And that kind of positivity is what you need to help you stick with the routines that you've created. So I plan the night before. That's the way that I do it. Hopefully that may work for you. If you are enjoying what you're hearing so far, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm so glad you're here, and I would love to have you become part of my community. Thank you so much for watching it. If you're wondering what my morning routine looks like, I get up in the morning, and I've been doing this for months. Put on my robe, put on my slippers, and then I head to the kitchen and I start opening up the blinds. My bedroom is right off the kitchen, so the first thing I do is open up the blinds and let the sunshine in. Let the sunshine. Anyway, you get my drift. I let sunshine hit my face. It just makes me feel good. I go through my whole first floor and I open up the blinds on my first floor. Now, meanwhile, my little puppy dog is running around and she needs some attention too. So I pet her for a few minutes. Once I do that, I'm dehydrated. So I always go to the kitchen and drink my water. I usually drink about 16 ounces of water. This is my water container, and I have 5 of these. And so I drink 16 ounces first, and then I go ahead and put this down, and I take my vitamins, and then I journal. I started journaling probably, I don't know, off and on for the last few years, but a lot in 2020. And what journaling does for me is it just gets the things that are in my head on paper. And it's not those things like what I have to do. It's just those thoughts, those thoughts like what would make me feel good, or just what's on my mind, what's bothering me, what I'm excited about. I put those things in my journal. I have a journal that I use. It takes me 5 minutes, and then I'm done. And then I put it away, and that's all I do. That way, I just immediately get the things off my mind that are just thoughts I wake up with. When I finish with my journaling, then I read. And, I like to read. I love to read nonfiction. And so when I'm reading nonfiction, it's usually some book about helping me to improve some area of my life. And so I read the book. I generally try to read through a chapter if I have the time, but my goal is to get through a chapter a day, which is usually, depending on the book, is usually about 10 pages. So I read that, and then from that point is when I can start the rest of my day. And that has allowed me to create a morning routine that is specifically and intentionally for me. Now, my morning routine may look completely different from yours, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, a morning routine is something that you want to be able to do over and over and over again. It should become a habit. It should become routine, so that when you wake up in the morning, you don't even have to think about it. It's just something that you just do. So the last thing I have to do in the morning is that I like to move. When I get up in the morning, I have to get out of the bed. I have to move. That's why I go and open my blinds. If I lay in the bed too long, I don't know. I get antsy, I get anxiety, and I have just been able to identify that Just laying in the bed and not being productive just does not work for me. I have to move. And so for you, decide on what kind of movements you like to do. You can decide that in the morning you need to get up and stretch, or you need to get up and meditate, or you need to get up and put on your shoes so you can go take a run. Whatever works for you. I'm walking around my house, opening up blinds, petting my dog, maybe throwing the bone back and forth to her. That is enough movement for me to get me started and just get my blood flowing. So that's the movement that I do. Movement is important. My morning routine is not your morning routine. You can try my morning routine, but I bet if you were, you would still have to tweak it. I'm so glad that you stopped by. I have some other videos linked right here if you like to check them out that help you to get organized and organize your day and just feel more successful, how to set boundaries to keep people out of your way. So check those out. And until I see you again, hugs and love. Bye.